Hi, I'm Yung, and this video covers the names of a few hands from Wing Chun and the Chinese characters so that you can look them up and learn better how to pronounce them, as well as the meanings from the Chinese characters themselves. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is because you may have heard some people talk about Wing Chun as only having Tan Bong Fook. I liken that to how people will ask, do you know your A's, B's, and C's, or ABCs? Obviously, there's more than A, B, and C. So, starting with Xue Lim Tao, let's go through some of the hands. One of the first things that we do is Po Zhong. Po Zhong. Po means break or breaking. Center. Zhong, everybody knows center. Po Zhong. And you can actually name these two hands like a double Gaang or something like that. But for the purposes of doing the form, we talk about breaking the center. The next hand, Yut Jee Chung Cheu. Yut Jee Chung Cheu. So it's you'll see in the character, it's the day character, and Chung Cheu. Chung means rushing forward. Cheu is another way of saying hit. It's actually similar to, you can actually hit with a hammer. You can hammer something. Cheu. Chung Cheu. This is the first tan sao. The first tan sao we do, we call it a ping tan sao. Ping just means flat. And tan sao, anytime you have tan, it means to open. Anytime you have sao, it means literally just means hand. So ping tan sao, flat tan sao. But we also call it big tan sao. Now big is important because it's not the shape of the hand, but it's the motion. We do the big on the tan sao, we do big on the Fook sao. I will cover the concept of big in another video. But for here, big tan sao. Change over to a wu sao. Wu sao. Wu means to protect. Sao again means hand. We switch over to a Fook sao. Fook sao. A Fook has a lot of different meanings, and one of the definitions that you'll see is subdue, or you could look at that as control. So you're actually subduing, you're controlling something with your Fook sao. After a Fook sao, we go back to a wu sao, come back, we release, and then we do something called the first pak sao. We reference it as a zat pak sao. Zat. Now in the old days, there's different, you could say one word, it might have different meanings. One zat means to stop or block. But in this case, the zat that we want is, it refers to speed. Okay, so it's kind of a snap, but it means really quick. Okay, so zat pak sao is very quick. And then the first palm strike. And we call this one Chang Jeung. Chang Jeung. Now Chang means to prop up. Now I'm obviously not propping anything up, but the concept is valid. It's like if you have something sagging down and you take a pole and you prop it up. It's in one straight direction and the power is continuous along one line. So Chang to the head, Jeung, Sao, which means hand, and Jeung, which means palm. This is a strike. Chang Jeung is a strike. Okay, after that, we start with a Gum Sao. Gum means to press, Gum Sao. And then we go straight up to a double Laan Sao. Laan means to block or obstruct. And then this double Laan Sao, this is a Laan Sao, this is two Laan Saos, and when you separate them, the action is called Fun Sao. Now, this is a concept. You don't necessarily need to have two Laan Saos to Fun Sao. But the character is Fun, which means to separate, Sao, the hands. Separate the hands, Fun Sao. After you Fun Sao and you come back, you do Zam Sao. A Zam Sao, it's the same character you use in Zam Tao. Zam Tao means pillow. It's like you put your head on a pillow, you rest something on. So Zam Sao. And then we have a biu, we have another zat, and another biu, and we move on to the second pak sao, Teui pak sao. So this zat pak is quick. This Teui pak is not quick, it's forceful. Teui means to push. Teui pak sao, you're pushing something. That's different from gum, which means pressing. It's a very slight difference, but even in English we have a difference. In the Cantonese, we have a difference as well. Teui pak sao. After Teui pak sao, we have the second palm strike, that's to the chest. This is Waang Jeung. Waang Jeung, Waang means sideways. Sideways palm strike. Finish that up, and then we do the second tan sao. The second tan sao is called biu tan sao. Biu means to shoot forward. It's the same biu as in biu ji. So biu, we thrust it forward, tan sao, tan open up, biu tan sao. Go straight down to a Gaang sao. A Gaang sao I find particularly interesting because Gaang means a plow. So if you think of how a plow looks, the sort of a triangular way a plow looks, you're doing a Gaang sao. And then back up to a biu tan and eventually do this Teui Jeung. This is the third palm strike. We had the Chang Jeung, Waang Jeung. Now we have Teui Jeung. Teui means a bottom or a lower palm strike, Teui Jeung. Back to a tan sao. And then finally, Bong sao. Now, Bong, some people refer to as wing arm. But actually, it sounds the same as Bong, meaning to tie up. And the reason that's important is because we're really talking about the meaning of the hand. Now, how do I tie somebody up with one hand? Well, if you think about, like, for example, wrestling, when you pin somebody to the ground, they're tied up. You're not actually tying anything together. You pin somebody down, that's Bong sao. After Bong sao, we have the third tan sao. This tan sao is a concept. It's still opening up, but it's a bin tan sao. Bin means whip. It's a whipping tan sao. It's made for redirection. And after the bin tan sao, we have another hand that looks like a palm strike, but it's not called a Jeung. This is tok sao. Tok means to raise or lift up. You're raising the hand. Tok sao. And then finally, we have this lat sao. Lat sao is, in Mandarin, it's a completely different sound. Lat is to get rid of. So you're getting rid of the hands. Lat sao. All right. So there's two more that I want to talk about. That's pretty important. The first one goes back to Bong sao. Whenever you have a Bong sao and a guarding hand, whether it be Wu sao or a tan sao, or even with slight differences in application, you can have an outward-facing hand. Together, that's a Kwun sao. Now that's important because Kwun means to bundle up or tie up. And again, you're not tying anything up, but it's very similar to Bong, to tie up. Kwun sao. And finally, the one I want to talk about is Gaang sao. Gaang sao. This was Gaang sao. This is tan sao. And together, that's Gaang sao. The same character, Gaang sao.